someone on Twitter/X literally goes by the name blank name.
Not as good as mine.
Yeah, at Madden Dude _. And his avatar is the A's logo. So that's already like, okay. They just lost 1-0, by the way.
I'm not even following Lucas. Lucas, I'm following you right now.
Oh, you just followed Lucas?
Yep.
Wow, that's big.
You're honored.
That's big for Lucas. You just got followed by a blue check mark.
A forever pimper.
I don't have a blue check mark.
Did you let the blue check go?
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah,
I'm not paying for a check mark.
No, of course not. Of course not. I now look down on people who have the blue check. Because I'm like, oh, you're a narcissist.
Well, then your boss, our boss is.
You narcissist.
You look down on the station?
Yeah, absolutely. Narcissistic. 7 the game. So anyway, at Madden Dude _ sent in what I think is a really interesting few sentences on this. And
in response to what?
In response to what we said. Have we all changed? Has the Steph Curry era of Warriors basketball changed us, maybe even for the negative? And the context there being the idea that now we have expectations that are not meetable. And just kind of like, in a way, I would say for some fans, it threatens to ruin your enjoyment of Warrior basketball. Because what if this goes the way that it is favored to go the next few years? 2 weeks from tonight, the Warriors are in L.A. and they lose by 7. And then Andrew Wiggins is traded in the offseason and they tweak the roster to support the big three. And the big three and Clay comes back for 2 years and $44 million. And the big three just keep getting older. And this little seed number next to them keeps getting higher every single year for the remainder of Steph Curry and Draymond and Clay's careers. What if it goes that way? Are you going to look at that with bitterness? Now listen to what at Madden Dude _ says. We want to desperately win for Steph Curry's legacy. We care more about defending Curry's legacy and giving us more ammo to justify where we put him on the GOAT list than the actual bragging rights of winning a ring. When Curry is gone, we'll turn back into normal fans.
I don't hate that take at all.
Do you buy that, though? That when Curry retires, we'll go back to normal. We'll go back to all the expectations are gone. All of the 90s Warriors vibes are back. Oh, we believe. And I mean, Tim and Chris burgers for everybody if you can get out of the first round.
When Caitlin Clark's gone from Iowa.
Right.
What's their fan base going to be like? Did they capture fans for a lifetime because of her?
I wouldn't think so.
Or is it a flash in the pan deal?
I don't think that anything is for a lifetime.
So did the Warriors capture fans for a lifetime? I would argue that there was a gazillion Warriors fans before Steph Curry.
They're already there. I think a lot of what they captured is those, as you call them, the bandwagon fans or even the out-of-market fans.
Which is fine. Yeah. It's great. They're a worldwide brand now. The most popular team in the NBA because of one guy, you would argue. Maybe a couple guys, but probably the guy we're talking about here. But yeah, I would love for his legacy to be cemented, but I think it is. Does he have to have 5 or 6 to be talked about in the Mount Rushmore? Like he's the greatest shooter ever. He changed how the game is played, pulling up from wherever.
What Mount Rushmore?
Like the greatest players ever. Did you equate? Do you equate greatest players in the history of the game because Jordan won this many, or Tom Brady won this many, or Magic won this many, or Kobe won this many? Does he have to win 5 or 6 to be considered that, or is he just? I just think he's Steph Curry no matter what happens.
No doubt, but you call him Mount Rushmore. I don't know if you meant that means he's one of the top 4 players of all time. I think most people would disagree with you.
Yeah, I know. I don't think he is of all time, but I think he's in the discussion as one of the greatest players ever.
For sure.
And not just shooter. I think we always say shooter. Like he does things on a basketball court that you just don't see guys do. It's not just the shot.
He's clearly, the discussion is down to 2 people on greatest point guard of all time. But then again, that entire position is completely different than what it used to be. You know what I mean? He's the greatest point guard of all time. He doesn't even bring the ball up the floor most of the time.
Right.
So, like, it's a completely different position, and that's where I usually end up whenever we get to these kinds of conversations. It's legacy and Mount Rushmore and how do you compare this, that, or the other? You can't. You can't. Michael Jordan played basketball in an era where he didn't pick up his phone and go to social media in the locker room after the game. That's a huge distinction.
Yeah.
Huge distinction between him and even Kobe and definitely LeBron and Steph and now Giannis and all of that. That's a huge change in our world. And so I don't know, like, it's fun to compare eras that you're never going to get to a final answer. Sometimes you'll get to a fight. Barbershop. That's cool.
I love having those arguments.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun as long as you keep it in perspective.
To your point, though, about social media, that's not a small thing.
I think it's a huge thing.
And I might have said this on the air or off the air to you. I can't remember at this point because we've been hanging out a lot. Is it there's some Giants players that have confided in me that when they get to their locker after a bad game, they can't believe the things that are said to them, and it's hard.
What is said to them?
Like death threats and stuff and really horrible things when they have a bad game. And that's stuff we never had to go through.
Right.
That's stuff that any athlete before all this never had to go through. I mean, you knew you've had a bad game, if you got booed, you knew if you weren't playing well, you had pride and you wanted to perform and win every night, but you never came in and looked at your phone and had people saying, you suck, quit, I know where your family lives, like blah, blah, blah. I mean, and that's a thing now, and I didn't know that was a thing until last year.
Hardest thing in the world to log off.
I'm addicted to it.
I'm completely addicted to it.
I'm addicted to my phone. I'm addicted to Instagram. Yep. I'm trying to put my phone away when I'm with people now and look them in the eye and talk to them. But like, I watched this thing on social media about phone addiction. Do you know if your phone is just out on the table, that you're telling the person that you're having dinner with or lunch with or in a meeting with that something more important could pop up, and that's why that's there? That's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Whether it's up or down does not matter. Oh, I've turned my phone face down because no, it's implying that there's something that could be more important. I didn't know any of this.
No,
so you're supposed. How about just that it's uncomfortable in your pocket?
Yeah, but you know what I've been doing? I've been sticking it behind. I've been sticking it behind my back. I've been sticking it behind my back.
Oh, too big. Well, maybe your pants are too small, but
yeah,
I don't
get away from the skinny jeans.
You want to know why it's uncomfortable in your pocket is because when it's buzzing, it's incredibly uncomfortable for us to not react to that. That's what it is. I can't tell you how many meals I've started when the phone is in the pocket and it either starts buzzing and you just can't bring yourself to be like, we'll figure out what's buzzing in an hour and a half. Or the way we talk to each other now in 2024 is such that some question will come up. You know what I mean?
You go right to your phone.
Hey, when do you want to, we're going away this weekend. What's the weather going to be like? Yep. Out it comes. And the next thing you know, you're stuck.
Do you remember when you'd have a game about, what was that actor's name in that movie? And you'd sit there and it would drive you nuts all night. And it would literally just dominate the whole evening. And they'd say, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm still trying to think of that actor you guys were talking about. It's bugging me. Now you just pick up your phone.
You just pick up your phone. Google. Well, we're doing this constantly. This is a game that my lovely Christy loves to play because she's famous for, the guy that's in the movie that does the thing.
I'm the same as she is.
What?
I don't know anybody's name on any reality show. It's just the girl with the McDonald's eyebrows that over-tweezes. I don't know her name.
You know the song that has the singing?
Yeah.
And the music?
Yep.
You're like, yeah, I know exactly
that one song? Who sings that?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me Google it.
What?
No, but this is an aspect of sports that nobody talks about that I didn't even think of until I was talking to a few guys and they're like, no, man, it's bad.
It's huge. So how are you going to